Good evening. Welcome to Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Suwajorn Klinswan. A sign of relief for all regions of Thailand except the northeast, as the Joint Typhoon Warning Center says the approaching Gami tropical storm will decrease in strength before entering Thai skies. However, the storm will still bring heavy rain to a few border provinces in the northeast. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center, or JTWC, a respected organization often quoted by professional weather forecasters around the world, says the fierce tropical storm Gami is likely to bring severe weather to a limited number of areas in the northeast of Thailand. The provinces of Ubon Ratchathani,ศรีสะเกษ Amnat Charein, Yasothon, Surin, Buriram, and Nakhon Ratchasima are the only provinces expected to be affected. These provinces can be expected to start to feel the effects of the storm from October the 8th, a day later than the original forecast. The storm is then expected to weaken to a depression before dissipating over the Thai-Lao border. However, rainfall from Gami can still be expected in the eastern, central, southern, and of course northeastern regions of the country, though not as much as previously feared. Meanwhile, a separate ridge of high pressure from China will extend into upper Thailand, bringing thunderstorms to northern and upper northeastern regions during October the 5th and 6th. As for the capital city, Bangkok is likely to face 30 mm per hour rainfall. And in the light of recent predictions that all districts of Bangkok are at risk of flooding this weekend, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration now boasts that if the rain falling on the capital does not exceed 30 mm per hour, the BMA's water drainage system will surely be able to save the city from inundation. Bangkok Governor Mom Ratchawong Sukhumpan Boripat ordered officials to dredge canals in western Bangkok and install water pumps at high-risk areas. The governor admits that even though Bangkok's water drainage system can efficiently remove rainwater falling at up to 30 mm per hour, the rainfall over the past 2 weeks has already taken some lowland areas to capacity. Therefore, flooding in certain low-lying areas can still be expected. The government's Water Resources Management Unit is working closely with lower central provinces as a unified plan to drain water into the Gulf prior to the rainfall this weekend is essential. Meanwhile, the Defense Ministry spokesperson says 10 military bases in Bangkok are now ready to become water retention areas to ease flooding in residential areas. Over in Pattaya, local authorities are cleaning out sewers to prepare for drainage into the sea should heavy rain falls. Officials will also be on a around-the-clock alert in case floods occur. Prachinburi province, on the other hand, is already seeing farmland and residential areas flooded with water levels in local rivers already 60% above the critical level.ศรีสะเกษ province in the northeast, one of the few provinces expected to be hit by Gami, is already diverting water to reservoirs to make way for the rains expected this very weekend. And despite the latest news that the predicted rainstorms may not be as severe as first thought, industrial estates across the country are being advised to prepare for the worst, including possible flooding as early as this weekend. The Industrial Estate Authority admitted that the industrial estates in the eastern part of the country, particularly Lakrabang Estate, are most at risk due to their low height above sea level. Around-the-clock monitoring of water level is being recommended. The Industrial Estate Authority said a flood war room has been set up for close assessment for the flood risk industrial zones, especially the high-risk Lakrabang Industrial Park, while also acting as a center for providing essential equipment. All industrial estates have been ordered to check their flood defenses, advised to prepare a supply of big bags and sandbags to prepare full-speed drainage systems as per the rehearsed emergency response plan. The Industrial Estate Authority, however, is most worried about the Lakrabang Industrial Estate, which has already seen some of its mud flood walls collapse last Saturday. The Industrial Estates Authority's flood protection scheme says the situation will be considered critical if water level reaches 10 centimeters below the flood wall's overflow height. Today marks the 1-year anniversary of flooding of the first of 7 industrial parks in central Thailand, which became inundated last year. And residents of the eastern province of Rayong's Ban Khai district are still hunting for a number of crocodiles which escaped from a farm after strong currents brought down the perimeter walls. It is not clear how many crocs are still on the loose. As you can see in the footage, this 1-meter-long crocodile is the second beast recaptured in the past 48 hours after more than 70 crocs escaped from a crocodile farm in Rayong's Ban Khai district. Local administrators are on a round-the-clock hunt for the remaining crocodiles, which escaped after the walls surrounding Phaibuan Yong Chaihiran's farm collapsed. Experts suggest that the crocodiles are hiding and will only come out when they are hungry. Locals admit to Thai PBS that they are worried about the escaped animals, as the actual size and official number is unknown. As all eyes are on the government's performance handling this year's flood, Prime Minister Eng.News says now is not the time for a cabinet reshuffle. Meanwhile, the ruling Pheu Thai party will have to elect a new leader after Yonghyut Vichaydit stepped down as party leader and as party list MP. In no more than 60 days from now, the Pheu Thai party must hold a meeting to elect a new executive committee following the resignation of Yonghyut Vichaydit, who gave up his leadership and MP posts. Malini Inchat, the 71st candidate on the party list, is set to take over his seat. Yonghyut resigned as Deputy PM and Interior Minister after the National Anti-Counter-Corruption Commission found he committed malfeasance in handling the Alpine land case 10 years ago when he was serving as Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Interior Ministry. Yonghyut, as acting permanent secretary at that time, approved the illegal sale of monastic land for development as a golf course and resort. The former deputy PM was quoted as saying he had already consulted Prime Minister Yingluck and former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra over this matter. He did not respond to questions of whether he could be voted back as leader. Prampong Noparit, Pheu Thai spokesman, says Yonghyut had shown political spirit and set a standard by not holding on to any political positions. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Yingluck has repeatedly said now is not the time for a new cabinet lineup because the government's work must not be disrupted, especially when imminent flooding remains at risk. And while the government boasts that it has found channels to distribute its massive amounts of rice from the rice pledging scheme, the Rice Exporters Association says that they have found no movement on the international stage. That and more with Kun Bandit Ger Bandit in Economic Focus.
Thank you, Kun Supaton. The government's controversial rice pledging scheme has been making front pages for the past couple of days as the new round of pledging got underway 4 days ago. Thai PBS's visit to Nakhon Pathom province found that many rice millers are not yet ready for the new harvest due to still overloaded warehouses. While the Commerce Ministry has claimed that the government is in the process of releasing and delivering 7 million tons of rice to other countries under government-to-government or G2G contracts, the honorary president of the Thai Rice Exporters Association said that the announcement contained unsubstantiated figures and that no real shipments have actually been made. Shukiet Opatwong, honorary president of the association, confirmed that the government's claim of selling 7 million tons of rice using G2G contracts cannot be true. His conclusion came after months of inspecting the government's rice sale efforts, including monitoring trading activities by the Thai government and other rice buying countries. He also found that there was no related activity among producers of rice packaging and rice surveyors. Additionally, Shukiet said that there remains a large stockpile of rice in many central warehouses and mills. And if the government has indeed released that much rice, storing crops from the new round of rice pledging would not be a problem. The honorary president urged the Commerce Ministry to come clean on the actual volume of state rice that has been sold. Shukiet also noted that the expected amount of rice exports this year stands at 6.5 million tons. This will make Thailand the third largest rice exporter, trailing behind India at 8 million tons and Vietnam at 7 million tons. Earlier, the Commerce Ministry said it has sold 7 million tons of rice under government-to-government or G2G deals to Indonesia, the Philippines and China, and has instructed the Foreign Trade Department to deliver 2 million tons of the crops to trading partners this year. The remaining amount will be shipped next year. Following Tuesday's protest by chicken farmers against the low price of eggs, farmers from the central region are now proposing that the government controls the importation of laying chickens and ensures the price of eggs reflects the cost of animal feed and the demand from consumers. In light of falling egg prices, Chayapon Sitan, a representative of small-scale chicken farmers from Suphanburi province, is gathering signatures from affected farmers and preparing to petition the cabinet. asking that it consider implementing a price insurance policy for eggs by subsidizing the difference between the farm price and the middle price quoted by the Association of Hen Breeders. At the moment, the production cost of one egg is 2 baht 60 satang, while the suggested farm price specified by the Internal Trade Department is 2 baht 40 satang. As a result, farmers are suffering a loss of 20 satang per egg. Grita Chu Thaptim, the vice president of the Association of Hen Breeders, said that small-scale farmers are facing the problem of rising costs, as animal feed has become more expensive. The situation is being aggravated by the importation of laying chickens, which subsequently causes a rise in the supply of eggs, from 36 million eggs per day to 40 million. The association, therefore, has established a committee to monitor the price of eggs and is preparing a petition to the Prime Minister. It hopes that farmers and state agencies, including the Commerce and Agriculture Ministries, work together to solve the problem systematically by setting the number of imported breeding hens to reflect the true market price of eggs. And that's all for economic news. We'll now return to Kun Supachon for the rest of the program.
Thank you, Kun Bandit. Last Sunday, a foreign product designer working for a soft drink company was found dead on a street in Kaeng Khoi district of Salaburi province. Authorities discovered that the murder was the result of a family conflict and have now arrested his ex-wife of the deceased and her brother, both of whom are alleged to have committed the crime. On September the 30th, Osvaldo Heinrich Duvel, an African product designer at a soft drink company, was found dead and unclothed on a street in Kaeng Khoi district of Saraburi province. Witnesses noted that on the day of Osvaldo's disappearance, the deceased was on a trip to visit his son, who was living with his ex-wife in Pathum Thani province. The investigators began by questioning Kacharin Duvel, the ex-wife, and her family. They denied involvement, even though authorities found that there was a conflict between Osvaldo and his ex-wife's family. The family conflict even led to a lawsuit over custody over their 3-year-old son, a case which the court was supposed to rule on by next Monday. Not long after the questioning, the authorities came across a suspicious Fortuner pickup truck damaged by bullet holes parked in front of the Ratanakosin 200 Years Village. After inspecting the vehicle, police questioned Surasit Panchathemongkon, brother of Kacharin, further before Kacharin, the ex-wife of the deceased Osvaldo, conceded that she was the mastermind of the killing of her ex-husband. She revealed that she deliberately lured Osvaldo into meeting her son and dining out, while her brother hid in the back seats of the Fortuner pickup truck, shooting Osvaldo from behind. The two then attempted to bury the corpse, but Surasit had a change of mind and left the body on the street. Kacharin admitted that she was annoyed with her ex-husband for luring her into marriage just to get a work permit in Thailand, and for not caring about her son when he was born, and then for launching a lawsuit for custody of the child. She also claimed that the deceased had disrespected her family and abused her. The authorities have pressed charges against the two suspects for murder. And China has been working ceaselessly to restoring the Angkor Wat, the world's famous attraction in Cambodia, after it suffered severe damage as a result of human activity and environmental factors. Here's more from Hugh Adams.
For centuries, Angkor Wat, Cambodia's World Heritage Site and one of the world's most astonishing and enduring architectural achievements, has been the subject of much attention. And now archaeologists from China and many other countries have been involved in an international conservation project to restore and protect this important historical site. Now, a Chinese restoration team is working on the temples in the complex of the Angkor Archaeological Park, the last of the major restoration efforts to restore the architecture's original shape and statues, using traditional construction methods. However, the repair process has been hindered by weather, continued deterioration, and a lack of information about the original temple design. The Chinese government has provided $6 million in financial support for the ongoing restoration, the second such project China has undertaken in Cambodia. The Chinese archaeologists say the 8-year restoration scheme is scheduled to be completed in 2018. The work of the Chinese archaeologists has won considerable praise from their foreign counterparts and the Cambodian government, leading to a strong friendship. Hugh Adams, Thai PBS.
And that's it for tonight's edition of Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Super John Clinton, wishing you all a very pleasant evening. สวัสดีครับ